Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to the Business and Utility Subcommittee meeting. Today is Tuesday, February the 20th, 2024. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Mr. Clerk, can you take the roll, please?
Representatives Alexander, Burkhart, Clemens, Freeman, Hale, Holsclaw, Johnson, Marsh, Thompson, Vaughn, Vital, Zachary, Chairman. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Members, before we get started today, do we have any personal orders from the committee? Chairman Zachary, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, I'm joined today by my County Commissioner, John Schoonmaker, Knox County Commissioner, District 5. You could make him feel welcome, please.
Anyone else? If not, we do have a little bit of housekeeping here. At the request of the sponsor, item number 2, House Bill 2027 by Representative Greg Martin has been rolled 1 week. At the request of the sponsor, item number 7, that's House Bill 1879 by Representative Freeman, has been taken off of notice. And at the request of the sponsor, item number 8, that's House Bill 1814 by Representative Thompson, has been rolled 2 weeks. Members, that brings us to the calendar. And item number 1, first up, is House Bill 2523 by Chairman Grills. Chairman Grills, we have a motion. We have a second. Chairman, you are recognized for explanation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. This bill seeks to appropriately compensate the members of the Reelfoot Lake Regional Utility and Planning District from $200 a month to $400 a month. This legislation also allows the Board of Directors to participate in the direct and in the district's medical and life insurance program, as well as a premium reimbursement. That's what it does there, Chairman Boyd.
Thank you for that explanation, Chairman. Members, do we have any questions for the sponsor? Chairman Zachary.
I can't even do it with a straight face. No, I'm good. Thank you. Never mind.
And Chairman Grills, you did tell me earlier that you did have a copy of a resolution from the board. Okay, appreciate that. And members, if there's no other questions, then we're going to go ahead and vote to send House Bill 2523 to full commerce. All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it. Congratulations, sir. We'll see you in full commerce. Next up is item number 3. That's House Bill 2146 by Representative Martin. We have a motion. We have a second. Representative Martin, I do not see any amendments, so you are recognized for explanation of your bill.
This legislation allows for a one-time antique and unique auto auction at the 5th annual Chattanooga Motor Car Festival that is planned for October 11th through the 13th. And anyone who sells more than 5 motor vehicles in 1 year is required to be licensed as a motor vehicle dealer through the Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance Motor Vehicle Commission. This legislation exempts participants in the festival auction from needing the licensure from the MVC. The legislation was written in conjunction with the Tennessee Automotive Association, who are supportive of this annual one-time event. The Motor Vehicle Commission was also involved in initiating and drafting this legislation, and there's no significant impact on physical. And with that, I stand ready to answer any questions.
Thank you, sponsor, for that explanation. And this is a bill that we see every year coming down here. Do we have any questions from the committee? If not, we'll go ahead and vote on it. Guys, we're voting to send House Bill 2146 to full commerce. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it. Sir, we will see you in full commerce.
Thank you.
Members, that brings us to item number 4 on the calendar. That's House Bill 2578 by Speaker Johnson. And Speaker Johnson, you are recognized. It looks like you do have an amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I do. Drafting code 13547.
That is what I'm showing. Members, we are voting to put amendment 13547 on the bill. We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it. The amendment goes on the bill. Speaker Johnson, you are recognized for explanation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is similar to a bill I brought last year, and I think our chairman of full committee recommended that we look at it a little deeper. So over the summer, we had some very productive meetings, not only with chairman of full committee, but also the Engineers Association. And I think we finally have a bill here that meets the approval of all the above. This bill came to me from a good friend that is an engineer. He works on Fort Campbell with the Federal Corps of Engineers, and he's licensed in the state of Kentucky. and he meets all the qualifications with the exception when he graduated from Austin P with an engineering technology degree. It was unaccredited. So what this bill does is it just simply, if an engineer has 12 or more years as a practicing engineer and has no complaints, and is recommended by 3 engineers that are licensed in the state, and has passed the fundamentals of engineering, the F&E examination, and the principles of and practicing of engineer, the PE examination. And this, with this amendment, we have a sunset, which would be June 30th of 2025. So that's what this bill does, and I'm open for any questions.
Sponsor, thank you for that thorough explanation. Members, do we have any questions? Chairman Vaughn, your name was indirectly mentioned. Do you want to opine on this bill, or as an engineer?
Sure. Speaker Johnson and I have had conversations about this. What we're doing here is we're opening a window for people who have met all of who in any other world would be licensed and have done the yeoman's work of passing both their EIT exam and their PE exam. So they're obviously competent. They obviously have experience level. They've obviously got recommendations of other people in the field. And so what we're doing is we're going to open the pay window for a period of time here for people who meet this qualifications to be able to be licensed. And then we're going to close it back, because what happened is that particularly a few decades back, a lot of students were, they were promised that an engineering technology degree is the same thing as an engineering, an ABET accredited engineering program. And so I was skeptical about this. I met the young man that Speaker Johnson referred to in particular. He's a managing engineer at Fort Campbell, doing obviously extraordinarily competent. And so it was one of those deals to where I felt like our profession would be better with him having PE behind his name. And so that's why we worked on a way that we could do this. And it's not just for this gentleman, it's for anybody of these people that meet all these qualifications. We won't be watering down the quality of the engineers performing the work, but yet we will allow people to correct a situation that maybe they encountered with decisions they made with regards to their curriculum as youth. And so that's what this bill does. And then with the sunset put on it, then it will go back away.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anybody else have a question or comment? If not, members, we are voting to send House Bill 2578 as amended to full commerce. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. The ayes have it. Sir, your bill is on its way to full commerce. Thank you. Members, that brings us to item number 5, and that's House Bill 2286 by Speaker Marsh. And Speaker Marsh, I don't see any amendments on there, so you are recognized on your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill makes revisions to the Underground Utility Damage Prevention Act. There are 17 members on this board, and they've all signed off on this recommendation. It has 4 main points. It clarifies the definition of an emergency in the 8-1 digging area. Number 2, it updates the notice of intent to excavate requirement to include all electronic notices. Instead of just emails, it can now be texts. It improves the violator compliance, and it authorizes the board to utilize the Underground Damage Prevention Fund to defray the cost of operating the enforcement program. With that, I'll answer any questions.
Thank you for that explanation, sponsor. Members, do we have any questions for the sponsor? And Speaker Marsh, I do show that we have some of our friends from TPUC and someone from 811. Do you need them to testify, or is there anybody here that would like to hear from them?
I think we're fine.
Okay. Well, look, Chairman Holtzclaw, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. And this also updates the fine possibility to help include insurance of activation of this program. Is that correct?
Speaker Marsh.
Would you repeat that, please? Repeat that, please.
I said it updates the fine possibilities to these bad actors.
It does. It upgrades it. It's a large fine, but if you go to the class and listen to what you're supposed to do, you get the fine back.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, members, let's send this bill to full commerce. All in favor to send House Bill 2286 to full commerce, say aye. All opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Speaker, we will see you in full commerce. Members, that brings us to item number 6. That's House Bill 1903 by Representative Burkhart. We have a motion, we have a second, and Representative Burkhart, I do show an amendment. Can you verify that amendment number for me?
013925.
That is what I'm showing. So members, let's go ahead and put that amendment on there. We're voting to put amendment 013925 on the bill. All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it. Representative Burkhart, your bill is amended and you are recognized for explanation.
Thank you, Chairman. What this simply does is it changes in an unlimited contractor's license renewal process, which happens every 2 years. This changes the words from reviewed or audited financial statement to a compilation, either one prepared by a licensed public accountant or certified public accountant. So that's simply all it does is we're going from a audited or reviewed to a compilation. That's all we're doing here. Mr. Chairman, I'll answer any questions anyone has.
Thank you for that explanation, Representative Burkhart. Members, Representative Freeman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It appears it also allows for the Board of Licensing Contractors to request audited financials. What would trigger that?
It says with calls, they have a section that already lists those items that they can ask for them for, and it's already in the code now. So, but I put with calls there just to give a little bit more clarity. This bill actually came from CPA, some of my CPAs who work with me, and they said it's just a cost here is running between $8,000 and $10,000 every 2 years, and the small contractors are just getting, who have an unlimited license. It's just it's tough on small guys. So the big guys are, $10,000 don't bother them, but 8 or 10 for a small guy it does. But
Representative Freeman. Members of the committee, we have any other questions? Chairman Clemens, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just curious about the need for the transition from an audit to the compilation. What's the necessity of that, and what's the purpose for that?
Representative Burkhart.
thank you, Chairman. Mostly the CPAs, just lack of people to do them. The last 2 that I've had done, I've had to send to Alabama and Georgia. You can't even get anybody in the state to do them. Plus, it's saving $10,000 to everybody who has these. I don't. And this only affects people with unlimited license. It doesn't affect anyone with a smaller license than 3 million.
Chairman Clemens.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And what's is there an expiration on that compilation? As the time frame where that has to be put together?
It had to be current.
Does the code speak to current, or what does that mean?
Well, what does the compilation mean?
No, I mean, you obviously can't show up or use a compilation that's, I would think, 5-10 years old.
Oh.
Is there anything in the code that limits that or expires?
Representative Burkhart.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm sure that that's already handled in the code already. I mean, because if you don't have a current financial statement now, they won't accept that. So all we're doing is just changing those few words. I'm sure that's already well versed in the code already.
Chairman Clemens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'm sure the sponsor is correct. Could we go out of session and have legal answer that question, just so I'm clear on that?
Yeah, we're glad to. And we also have, as a speaker, Alex Martin from Department of Commerce and Insurance, if they need to speak to that as well. Representative Burkhart, do you want them to testify to maybe answer that question as well?
Simply to the chair.
Okay, members, we're going out of session. And we're going to ask Mr. Alex Martin to come up. And Alex, you've done this before. Just make sure your microphone's on and state your name for the record.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alex Martin, Assistant Commissioner of Regulatory Boards with Commerce and Insurance. To answer the representative's question, I believe our rules cite that compilation or in its current form, the review financial statement has to be within the company's last fiscal year. I believe that's in the rule.
Chairman Clemens?
Yeah, as long as that's in the rule, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Members, do we have anything for Mr. Martin while we're out of session? If not, thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. Members, we are back in session and we are back on the bill. Chairman Clemens, I'm guessing is that the end of your questioning for Representative Burkhart?
Yes, sir.
Members, any other questions for Representative Burkhart? If not, we are voting to send House Bill 1903 to full commerce. All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it. Congratulations, sir. You're on your way to full commerce as amended. And members, that brings us to item number 9. That's House Bill 2266, and that's me. So I'm going to hand this down to Chairman Vaughn.
Thank you, Chairman Boyd. As your substitute chairman, I'm here to recognize you on House Bill 2266. And I don't see any amendments, Chairman Boyd. So if you would, tell us what you're wanting to do here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. House Bill 2266 is a terrific bill. It was brought to me by some property managers in my district, and they brought something to my attention that I did not realize was an issue. And so there has been a common situation that seems to arise where people will move in to an apartment complex or a rental property, and they will move in and bring a pet, and they will not disclose that. They will not pay the pet deposit fee. And then when the property manager or the landlord finds out about this and they bring it to the attention of the tenant, they will then go to an online website, pay hundreds of dollars and download a form to certify their animal as an emotional support animal. Now, this is an issue that the Department of Housing and Urban Development at the federal level has recognized, and they have put language into their HUD documentation that basically says that for someone to, and I'm paraphrasing here, that if someone has an emotional support animal, it has to be legitimate. We don't want to downplay that or keep people from having that, but a company that exists 100% online for the purposes of sending someone a document is not sufficient. And so what this would do is it would just simply clarify that in Tennessee statute, both in the Tennessee Landlord-Tenant Act and in the law as it pertains to the other counties that are not under the Landlord-Tenant Act. This will just clarify that and pretty much mirror what HUD has in their language. Mr. Chairman, I'll take any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Chairman Boyd? Seeing none, we're going to vote on House Bill 2266. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. 2266 is going to full commerce.
Well, members, that brings us to the end of the calendar, and if we have no further business, the members, this meeting is adjourned.